Hello! Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to our Bible reading. I believe we are in Samuel still. Yes, Samuel chapters 18 and 19. So remember the person we've been learning about the last couple weeks. Do you remember? His name is David. That's right. David, in the early years of David, when he was first approached by King Saul, when he's first approached by Samuel, when he fights Goliath. These are the things we've been learning about the last couple weeks. So, let's keep learning about David. We are in 1 Samuel chapter 18 and 19, and this is a story about David's friend Jonathan. David went to live with King Saul, and the king liked to have David sing and play the harp for him. Everything David did, he did well. He was just one of those guys, just talented at everything he did. King Saul saw that people liked him too. Saul's son, Jonathan, liked David as well. He and David became best friends, almost like brothers. Soon, King Saul grew jealous of David, though, and all that David was talented in. He sent him into a battle in the hope that he would be killed. Man, sent him into battle hoping that he would be killed. But God was with David. He came home a hero. He didn't die out there in that battle. Now Saul was really angry. Jonathan was afraid for David's life. Jonathan was King Saul's oldest son. And when David came to live with them, Jonathan became great friends, like I said, almost brothers with David, and they shared everything together. They shared all their possessions. So Jonathan was afraid for David's life. He and David made a plan. If Jonathan found out that David was in danger, he would find a way to warn David so that he could run away. One morning, David was hiding in a field behind a large rock, and Jonathan came with his bow and arrow. He shot an arrow so it flew far, far away. Jonathan called his servant boy to run out and get the arrow, and this was a signal that Saul, King Saul, was after David again. So Jonathan launched an arrow far out to David to say, "Hey, my dad is coming for you. You better get out of here." So he's warning him with that arrow. He's not trying to hurt David with that arrow. He's warning him. That was the signal that they came up with, that Jonathan came up with. And when the servant boy left, David would come out. He bowed down to Jonathan 3 times as a gesture, as a thank you to him for warning him. And then they said goodbye. They were both crying. They were sad that they would have to leave each other. And David cried the loudest. Jonathan said to David, "Take care of yourself. Remember, we will always be friends." So it's a sad moment because Jonathan's own father, King Saul, was so upset and jealous and sinful toward David that he wanted to kill him. And this was sad because these guys were best friends. They were like brothers. They shared everything together. They looked out for each other. They were growing up together. And now it was time for David to get out of there because it just wasn't safe. His life wasn't safe. So Jonathan would sacrifice, and he warned David, and so David had to go, and they said their goodbyes. So it's a sad moment, but it's also a great example of how a godly friend should act toward another godly person. And so I want you guys to think about that. Like, what kind of friend are you being to your friends or to your own siblings? What kind of brother are you being? Remember, these guys were living in the same house. They were sharing everything. They were best friends, but they were like brothers. So what kind of friend are you? What kind of brother are you? What kind of sibling are you? Are you the kind of friend that, gets jealous of your friend? Are you the kind of friend that looks out for your friend? Is a protector of your friend? That's the question that you guys have to grow up with and ask yourself always, what kind of friend am I going to be? So, what kind of friend are you going to be? Are you going to be like Jonathan, looking out for your friends even when your own father is acting sinful? Are you going to look out for your friend because it's the right thing to do? I want you guys to think about that, especially you men out there. Think about what kind of protector you're going to be. Jonathan was a good friend. David was a good friend. What kind of friend are you going to be? Let's talk more about David next week, guys. Bye.